The alien planet stretched before them like a living nightmare. Jagged mountains pierced the crimson sky, and thick jungles swallowed the light of the twin moons. The air was heavy, almost alive, buzzing with the faint hum of strange insects and unseen creatures. The group of explorers moved carefully, their boots sinking into the damp soil, hearts pounding with unease. Among them was Captain Rylan, a tall human with a steady gaze. He had led dozens of missions before, but this planet felt different, darker, more alive, more dangerous. Behind him, a small alien companion, Lyra, with silver-blue skin and luminous eyes, sniffed the air nervously. Her instincts told her something was wrong. "We should not have split into two groups," Lyra whispered, her voice barely audible. "The shadows are moving differently tonight." Rylan shook his head, keeping his voice low. "We have no choice. The signal we're tracking is deeper in the jungle. We must move forward carefully." They had been sent here to investigate strange energy readings. At first the readings seemed harmless, almost scientific. But as they had landed, they realized the jungle was alive with more than plants. Shadows moved in ways that no wind could explain, and faint cries echoed through the foliage. Something was watching. As the group trudged forward, a figure watched from the darkness above. Hidden in the canopy, perfectly still, a lone human seal sniper scanned the scene. His body blended with the blackened leaves and thick branches, almost invisible. He had been tracking this mission for days, studying every move of the explorers and the creatures around them. He adjusted the scope on his rifle, a high-tech weapon capable of incredible precision. Through it he could see every detail: the nervous flick of a tail, the twitch of a claw, the slight shift of a hunter's stance in the shadows. He did not speak. He did not move. He was patience itself, the calm eye of a storm that no one could see. Below, the explorers reached a clearing. Strange glowing plants lit up the area in greenish light, casting eerie shadows across their faces. Lyra crouched low, scanning the perimeter. "Captain, do you feel that?" she asked, a tremor in her voice. Rylan paused, listening. The jungle was alive with sounds, branches snapping, leaves rustling, but no wind stirred them. Something moved in the dark, something that didn't belong. From somewhere behind the trees, a rustling sound made them jump. One of the alien explorers, Tarek, froze. "Who's there?" he called, voice shaking. A faint whisper reached their ears, almost human. "Who's after us?" The words sent a chill down their spines. No one answered. The rustling continued, faint, deliberate. Then silence. Unseen above, the SEAL sniper observed. He had heard them. He knew the question they would not answer. What hunted them? His trained mind assessed the threats. Predators were intelligent, bigger than humans, fast and silent. He had faced creatures like this before, but never in such dense terrain, never so far from any support. He tightened his grip on his rifle. The first movement appeared. A dark shape, taller than a man, crouched low among the undergrowth, eyes glinting faintly in the moonlight. It moved with purpose, stalking the explorers, blending with the shadows. Rylan noticed a flicker out of the corner of his eye. "Stay alert," he whispered. "Something is here." The group huddled together, weapons ready. Even their alien companions, known for courage in battle, trembled slightly. The jungle seemed to close in on them, the glowing plants casting long shadows that danced like living creatures. Suddenly, a screech echoed from deeper in the trees. One of the alien predators lunged from the shadows, its claws slicing through the air. Tarek barely dodged, stumbling backward into a glowing bush. The creature hissed, low and furious, then nothing. The predator froze in place, head tilting as if confused. In the distance, a small flash of light reflected off a scope. A faint sound, almost imperceptible, and the predator fell, silent, without a sound of struggle. Rylan blinked. "Did you see that?" he whispered. Lyra's eyes widened. I think someone is helping us." The SEAL sniper did not move. He watched unseen, calculating the next step. One by one, he would control the battlefield, guiding the explorers indirectly, protecting them without ever revealing himself. The hunters regrouped, hissing and growling in their strange language. They were intelligent, and they sensed a presence they could not see. Confusion spread among them. In moments like this, fear grew faster than strength. The explorers, unaware of the invisible protector above, tried to find the source of their unseen safety. Rylan looked around, frustration and fear mixed on his face. "It's like something is holding them back." "But what?" The SEAL sniper prepared again, adjusting his scope and checking his breathing. He could not rush. Every shot, every movement had to be perfect. One wrong move and the hunters would adapt. But patience was his weapon. As the night deepened, more predators emerged from the shadows. They surrounded the explorers slowly, circling, hunting, waiting. The explorers' nerves stretched tight, their hands gripping weapons, eyes darting to every movement. Rylan felt a cold realization. We are not just being watched, we are being hunted. The SEAL sniper noted every position. He used the terrain, the trees, the hills, the glowing plants to his advantage. Shadows became allies. Darkness became a shield. One by one, he eliminated threats before they could strike. In the clearing, the explorers heard sudden crashes and eerie sounds. Hunters fell silently, without warning. Whispers of movement brushed past them, leaving no trace. The group began to sense that someone or something was protecting them, but they could not see who. Lyra crouched low, looking around nervously. Captain, this is impossible. We are surrounded, but no one has attacked us fully. Something is controlling this night. Rylan nodded slowly, his mind racing. Someone is here. Someone or something. Watching. Protecting. The SEAL sniper continued his silent vigil. He did not seek recognition. He did not care for thanks. His mission was clear. Protect these humans and aliens, guide them through the night, and ensure they survived until dawn. A sudden shriek pierced the air, closer than before. One of the explorers screamed, stumbling backward. But before the predator could strike, a faint flash, a whisper of sound, and it fell, lifeless. Rylan turned to Lyra. Do you see anyone? She shook her head. No, it's like the night itself is fighting for us. The SEAL sniper allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. He knew the night could be his ally, but he also knew the hunters would adapt. Tomorrow, the dangers would grow. They would learn to fear not just the humans, but the unseen human who could control the battlefield from the shadows. The explorers settled for a moment, hearts still racing. They did not know how lucky they were. They did not know who or what was holding the night in balance. Above them, the lone SEAL sniper adjusted his scope one last time, scanning the horizon, preparing for the coming hours. He was the unseen hand, the silent guardian, the human edge against a world that seemed impossible to survive. And in the darkness, the predators waited, unaware that their hunter was not one of their kind. One human mind, alone, would shape the night, control the battlefield, and change the fate of the explorers. The first night on the alien world was over, but the war in the shadows had only just begun. The jungle was alive with whispers. Every leaf, every branch, every shadow seemed to hold a secret. The explorers had survived their first night, but the tension had not left them. They moved slowly, every step calculated, eyes scanning the darkness. They didn't know who or what was keeping them safe. Captain Rylan led the group with a cautious pace, his mind constantly alert. Stay close, he whispered. We cannot let them surround us again. Lyra's luminous eyes darted from shadow to shadow. I feel them. The hunters. They are clever. They are learning. Behind the trees, perched in perfect stillness, the SEAL sniper observed. He adjusted the focus on his high-tech rifle, tracking the hunters' movements. Every step they took, every pause, every twitch of a muscle he memorized. He didn't rush. Precision was his weapon, patience his shield. The first hunter appeared, a tall, dark figure moving silently through the undergrowth. It paused, sniffed the air, and took a cautious step forward. The sniper held his breath, waited, and then a faint click echoed softly through the scope. The hunter fell motionless before it could attack. Rylan and Lyra saw the hunter collapse but could not see who struck it. It's happening again, Rylan muttered, eyes wide. Someone is protecting us. Someone unseen. The group moved deeper into the jungle, following the energy signal they had been sent to investigate. The terrain grew more dangerous. Thorny vines snagged at their clothes, and glowing plants cast strange flickering shadows that played tricks on their eyes. Every sound seemed amplified. The rustle of leaves, the snap of twigs, the distant cries of unseen creatures. The SEAL sniper moved like a shadow himself, repositioning quietly from tree to tree. He observed the hunters' patterns. They were intelligent, coordinated, and unpredictable. But he had faced similar enemies before. Their strength lay in numbers and cunning, but they could be outsmarted. Suddenly, a hunter lunged from the shadows, targeting Lyra. She barely dodged, stumbling backward, heart racing. Another hunter leapt toward Tarek, the alien explorer. The group froze, panic rising. Then, as if the jungle itself had acted, the hunters were struck. Silent, precise, invisible attacks felled them one by one. The explorers could only watch in awe. One moment the threat was alive. The next it was gone, as if erased by the night. Lyra whispered, This is impossible. No one could do this alone. Rylan shook his head slowly. Someone is out there, someone controlling the battlefield. Above, the SEAL sniper observed the group. He noted their positions, weaknesses, and strengths. He did not intervene directly unless necessary. His plan was to guide them safely, letting them take the next steps while he neutralized immediate threats. Every move he made was calculated, every shot precise. The hunters regrouped, hissing in their strange language. They sensed the invisible enemy now, confusion spreading among them. Their strategy faltered, their confidence shaken. The explorers pressed on, following the faint glow of the energy signal. They came to a shallow river, water flowing dark and fast. Crossing it was risky, but there was no other choice. Rylan scanned the area, eyes sharp. "We move together," he whispered. "No one steps ahead." As they crossed, shadows moved along the banks. Hunters lurked, waiting for the right moment. A scream echoed. Tarek slipped in the water, one hunter diving for him. But before it could strike, a faint flash, a soft click, and the hunter fell. Rylan looked around, trying to find the source. "Who is helping us? We need to know." The SEAL sniper adjusted his scope, watching the riverbank. One wrong move could expose him. He waited, letting the hunters make the next step, then neutralized them with perfect timing. Each shot was silent, precise, leaving the hunters no chance to counterattack. Night deepened further, the twin moons casting silver light across the jungle. The energy signal they were following grew stronger, pulling them toward a rocky outcrop at the center of the forest. The explorers approached cautiously, senses alert. "We are close," Rylan whispered. "Whatever is causing this signal, it's near." Suddenly, movement in the trees. Hunters leapt from branches, faster than the eye could follow. They attacked in coordinated waves, aiming to overwhelm the group. Panic threatened to spread, but the unseen protector acted. Shots rang out silently. Hunters dropped like statues falling in slow motion. The group had no idea where the attacks came from. They could feel safety, but the source remained invisible. Lyra looked up, her voice trembling. It's like the night itself is fighting with us." The SEAL sniper calculated the next move. The hunters were intelligent but predictable under pressure. He used the terrain, branches, rocks, glowing plants, to mislead them. He forced them into traps, made them fight shadows, and eliminated them one by one. Each action was a lesson in patience and precision. The explorers reached the rocky outcrop. Strange symbols were carved into the stone, glowing faintly in the moonlight. The energy signal pulsed from here, faint and steady. They studied the symbols cautiously, trying to understand the purpose. "This is advanced technology," Rylan said, brushing his fingers over the carvings. "Possibly alien. Possibly dangerous," Lyra nodded. "It feels I'm alive, like it is aware of us." Behind the trees, the SEAL sniper observed. He knew the area was critical. The hunters would not give up. They would adapt and attack again. But he was ready. His mind planned every step: protection, rescue, and guidance. A rustle in the undergrowth caught his attention. More hunters were coming, bigger, stronger, more intelligent than before. They were the leaders, the ones who coordinated attacks. The SEAL sniper's eyes narrowed. These would be the hardest to eliminate. The hunters lunged toward the explorers, claws and teeth bared. The group froze, terror rising. But again, the invisible protector acted. Shots rang out, precise and silent. Hunters fell, some mid-leap, some frozen in mid-attack. The group could only watch, hearts pounding. "Someone is saving us," Tarek whispered. "But who?" "Where are they?" Rylan did not answer. He realized the truth. There was no visible savior, only a human mind working in the shadows, controlling the battlefield with unmatched skill. The SEAL sniper shifted position, keeping the hunters within his sight. He studied each movement, each pattern. He knew the next wave would be smarter, faster, more dangerous. But he was ready. Every hunter that approached would meet the same fate. Silent, precise elimination, leaving the explorers unharmed. Finally, the hunters retreated, hissing in frustration, their leader retreating with them. The jungle fell silent once more, the night calm but tense. The explorers stood among the rocky outcrop, exhausted but alive. Rylan looked around, his face a mix of relief and awe. "We survived." "But how?" Lyra shook her head, still wary. "There is someone here, someone protecting us. A human, I think. Only a human could think this way, combining strategy, patience, and courage." The SEAL sniper watched them from above. He did not move forward. Recognition was not his goal. Survival was. He knew the hunters would return, stronger and smarter, but he also knew that a single human mind, perfectly trained and disciplined, could shape the outcome of the night. As the explorers rested, the energy signal pulsed steadily from the carvings. They had survived one night, thanks to an unseen protector, but the mission was far from over. The jungle still held countless dangers, and the hunters would not forget the taste of failure. Above, the SEAL sniper scanned the horizon, every sense alert. He had saved them tonight, but the war in the shadows was only beginning. Every step, every sound, every movement mattered. The night was his ally, precision his weapon, and the explorer's survival his mission. The hunters would learn the hard way. Underestimating humanity, even a single human, was their greatest mistake. And the SEAL sniper would ensure they never repeated it. The first night had been survived. The second night, and every night after, would test courage, skill, and ingenuity. The explorers did not yet know the full extent of their protector's abilities, but they would soon. The jungle remained silent, waiting, alive, and dangerous. And somewhere in the darkness, a lone human watched, prepared, and controlled the night. Dawn broke slowly over the alien jungle, casting long shadows between the glowing plants. Mist hovered over the forest floor, curling around roots and rocks like restless spirits. The explorers had survived another night, but the tension had not eased. Every sound made them jump, every rustle brought fear. Captain Rylan led the group carefully through the dense foliage, eyes sharp, hand hovering near his weapon. Lyra walked beside him, her luminous eyes scanning the shadows for any hint of danger. Tarek, still shaken from the previous night, followed quietly, keeping close to the others. "They are out there," Lyra whispered, voice tense. "I can feel them. The hunters have not given up." Rylan nodded, keeping his voice low. "We know. But we are not alone this time. Someone is protecting us." Unseen above, the SEAL sniper adjusted his position on a high branch. He had spent the night observing, tracking the hunters, learning their patterns. He was calm, calculating, every sense tuned to the environment. The predators had grown more cautious, but their intelligence could not match his patience and skill. The first movement appeared, a pair of hunters slipping silently through the undergrowth, trying to flank the explorers. They moved cautiously, their claws making soft impressions in the moist soil. The SEAL sniper waited, breathing slowly, each heartbeat measured. He had learned the hunters' tendencies. When they thought they were unseen, they became careless. The predators lunged, thinking to catch the explorers off guard, but the sniper was ready. A faint flash, a soft click, and one hunter fell before it could strike. The other froze, sensing the unseen force against it. Another click, and it too dropped silently. Rylan and the group watched in astonishment. "It's happening again," Tarek whispered. "Someone is always there, watching, protecting." Lyra shook her head. "I do not understand. How can one being control the night like this?" The SEAL sniper did not answer. He was focused, his mind moving faster than any visible action. He studied the remaining hunters, calculating the safest paths for the explorers. Each step they took was guided by his unseen hand, each danger neutralized before it could strike. The jungle grew darker, shadows lengthening as the twin moons climbed higher in the sky. The explorers reached a narrow gorge, water rushing through rocks far below. Crossing would be difficult, but they had no choice. "Stay close," Rylan whispered. "One misstep and the gorge could take us all." As they moved across, hunters emerged from the shadows faster and more coordinated than before. They had learned from their earlier failures and now attacked in groups, attempting to overwhelm the explorers. The sniper adjusted his position silently, climbing higher into the trees. He studied the hunters' patterns carefully. This was no longer a simple defense, it was strategy, precision, and control. Every hunter that approached was guided into a trap. each misstep amplified by the sniper's unseen presence. Shots rang out silently, hunters falling mid-leap, frozen in the moonlight before they could reach the explorers. The group could only stare in awe and disbelief. "This is impossible," Lyra whispered. "No one should be able to fight like this alone." Ryland's jaw tightened. "It is not impossible. It is human." The hunters regrouped, hissing in their strange language, frustration and confusion in every movement. They realized they were being outsmarted by an invisible enemy. The predator leader, taller and stronger than the rest, stepped forward, eyes glowing faintly. It was clear, this hunter would not fall easily. The SEAL sniper observed calmly, noting the leader's strength, speed, and intelligence. This would be his greatest challenge. But he was ready. Every tactic, every strategy, every tool he had learned over years of training would be used. He would turn the hunter's strength against it. The predator leader lunged, claws extended, aiming for Lyra. She froze, caught in mid-step. But before the attack could land, a soft click echoed in the jungle, and the predator froze, then fell silently. The explorers blinked. How is this happening?" Tarek stammered. Ryland's eyes scanned the jungle. "Someone is controlling the battlefield. Someone who thinks faster, moves faster, and sees everything we cannot." Above them, the sniper moved silently, repositioning to maintain the advantage. He understood the hunter's psychology. They feared what they could not see. He used that fear, manipulating their attacks, leading them into traps of his design. The explorers pressed on, moving toward the source of the energy signal. It pulsed faintly, almost alive, from a rocky plateau ahead. The jungle seemed to resist them. Vines snaked across paths, rocks shifted as if alive, but the sniper cleared the way. Every obstacle the explorers faced was softened, every threat eliminated before it could reach them. Suddenly, a massive predator emerged from the foliage, larger and more terrifying than any before. It lunged for Ryland, eyes blazing with rage. The group froze, unsure of what to do. The sniper calculated the angle, the distance, the timing. He waited for the perfect moment. A faint flash, a soft click, and the predator fell before it could strike. Not a sound escaped, not a movement of struggle. It was gone as if it had never existed. Lyra gasped, stepping back. "It is controlling everything. The night itself is on our side." Ryland nodded slowly, realization dawning. It is not the night. It is a human. One human controlling the battlefield with skill we cannot imagine. The remaining hunters retreated, hissing in frustration, clearly shaken by the invisible force against them. The jungle fell silent once more. The explorers stood among the rocks, exhausted but alive, hearts pounding. This is incredible," Tarek whispered. "We should be dead." Ryland looked up, scanning the treetops. He did not see the sniper, but he knew the presence was there. "Human ingenuity," he said quietly. "Discipline, skill, and patience. That is what is keeping us alive." The sniper watched them from above, every sense alert. He knew the hunters would return, more determined and clever. But he was ready. Every move he had made so far was just preparation. He would outthink them, outmaneuver them, and ensure the explorers survived. Night fell again, the twin moons casting a silver glow across the jungle. The explorers found a small clearing to rest, still wary of every shadow. They did not speak much. Their minds were still reeling from the invisible protection, the silent guardian who controlled the battlefield. Lyra whispered, "We have survived, but for how long? The hunters will learn, and they will come back stronger." Ryland's gaze was steady. "Then we will be ready. We will follow our unseen protector. We will survive together." The SEAL sniper adjusted his position, scanning the horizon. He had already planned for the next night, for the hunter's return, for every possible threat. His patience, skill, and precision were unmatched. One human mind alone could control the chaos of the night, turn the tide of battle, and protect lives that seemed doomed. Above them, shadows shifted, unseen and silent. The hunters lurked in the distance, confused and cautious. They did not know that the hunter had become the hunted. Every step they took was anticipated, every move countered. The explorers huddled together, their exhaustion evident but tempered with relief. They had survived another night. They had faced danger beyond imagination, and they had done so thanks to an invisible force, a single human mind working in perfect control. The jungle was quiet now, but it waited. The hunters would not give up. The night would be tested again. But one truth had become clear. Underestimating humans, underestimating the power of a disciplined, trained mind, was a fatal mistake. The SEAL sniper watched silently, preparing for the next wave, ready to outthink, outmaneuver, and protect. The jungle was alive with danger, but he was alive with purpose. And in the shadows, he remained in control. The ultimate human edge against the unknown. The hunters would learn that a single human could not only survive the alien night, they could master it. And the explorers, still unaware of the full extent of their protectors' abilities, would come to understand that humanity's courage, skill, and ingenuity could turn even the deadliest night into survival. The jungle was alive with tension. Shadows stretched across the alien landscape as the twin moons rose high in the sky. The explorers had survived 2 nights, but they knew the hunters had learned from their failures. Each step forward was a test, every rustle a potential attack. Captain Ryland led the group cautiously, moving close to the rocky plateau where the energy signal pulsed faintly. Lyra followed, scanning the surroundings, her eyes reflecting fear and wonder. Tarek trailed behind, silent and tense. "They are smarter now," Lyra whispered. "They will not make the same mistakes twice." Ryland nodded. "We have survived so far because of someone unseen. But the night is changing. The hunters will adapt." Above, the lone SEAL sniper shifted silently from tree to tree. His body was still, his mind calculating. He had studied the hunters' behavior, their patterns, and their strengths. He knew they would strike with greater coordination this night. But he was ready. His skill, patience, and discipline were unmatched. The first sign of danger appeared when the hunters moved from the shadows, faster and more intelligent than before. Their eyes glowed faintly as they coordinated their attack, aiming to surround the explorers. Ryland raised his hand, signaling the group to stop. "Stay calm." We moved together. "Do not panic," the SEAL sniper observed silently, calculating every angle. He adjusted his scope, watching the hunters closely. He noticed their leader at the forefront, directing attacks with intelligence and aggression. This was not just a test of strength, it was a battle of wits. The hunters lunged at the explorers, claws extended, teeth bared. Tarek froze in fear. Lyra prepared to defend herself. Ryland tightened his grip on his weapon. Then, as if the night itself had acted, the hunters were struck. Silent shots rang out, each hunter falling before they could reach the explorers. The group could see the results, but not the source. "It's unbelievable," Lyra whispered. "Someone is controlling everything." The SEAL sniper repositioned quietly, maintaining the advantage. He used the terrain to his benefit. Rocks, trees, and glowing plants became tools. The hunters were smart, but they were predictable under pressure. He led them into traps, controlled their movements, and eliminated threats with precision. The explorers pressed on, moving toward the glowing energy signal carved into the rocky plateau. Every step was cautious, their hearts racing. The jungle seemed to resist them as if alive, but the sniper cleared the path silently, ensuring no predator reached them. Suddenly, one of the hunters leapt from a high branch, aiming for Tarek. He froze in midair as a silent shot struck the predator. It collapsed, barely making a sound. Ryland turned to Lyra. "Do you see who is doing this?" She shook her head. "No. It's like the night itself fights for us." The SEAL sniper adjusted his scope, keeping the hunters under surveillance. He knew the predators would not give up. The leader would try to strike again, more aggressively. The next moves required careful planning. The hunters regrouped, communicating in their harsh, guttural language. Frustration and confusion spread among them. They sensed an unseen enemy, an enemy that outthought and outmaneuvered them at every turn. The energy signal pulsed stronger now, drawing the explorers closer. Ryland and Lyra studied the carvings on the plateau, trying to understand the advanced alien technology. The symbols glowed faintly as if reacting to their presence. "This is powerful," Ryland said quietly. "It is more than just a signal. It is a device, maybe a key to something bigger." Lyra nodded. "But it is dangerous."
"I can feel it."
"The hunters are protecting it, and it will not let us take it easily." Above, the SEAL sniper observed the hunters' movements, predicting their attacks. He had planned this moment carefully. The hunters would attempt to surround the explorers, but the sniper had set traps in advance, using the environment to gain control. As predicted, the hunters charged, attempting to isolate the group. But the sniper's silent precision struck first, Branches snapped under pressure, rocks shifted, and predators fell one by one. The jungle became a battlefield controlled entirely by his unseen hand. Rylan and the explorers could only watch in awe. "This is incredible," Tarek whispered. "We should be dead, but we are alive." The SEAL sniper did not pause. He used the hunters' aggression against them, manipulating their movements, forcing them into traps, and eliminating them silently. Every shot, every adjustment, every decision was perfect. Finally, the leader of the hunters stepped forward, larger and more intimidating than the rest. Its glowing eyes locked on the explorers, claws extended. It was a creature of raw strength and intelligence, determined to protect the energy signal. The SEAL sniper focused. He knew this would be his greatest challenge. He calculated the trajectory, the distance, the timing. One wrong move could be fatal. But his training and discipline were unmatched. The leader lunged at Rylan. Time seemed to slow as the sniper made the perfect shot. The predator froze mid-leap, then collapsed silently, leaving the explorers unharmed. Lyra gasped. "It is controlling everything. The hunter itself has no chance." Rylan nodded, awe and respect on his face. "It is not the night, Lyra. It is one human. One mind controlling the battlefield, saving us." The remaining hunters retreated, hissing and frustrated. The jungle fell silent once more. The explorers were exhausted but alive, hearts racing, minds filled with wonder. This is something I have never seen," Tarek said quietly. "One human can do this alone?" Rylan looked up, scanning the treetops. He did not see the sniper, but he knew the presence was there. Discipline, skill, and intelligence. That is what keeps us alive. That is humanity's edge. The SEAL sniper remained hidden, observing, prepared for any threat. He had orchestrated the entire night, controlling the battlefield silently. The hunters would return, stronger and more clever, but he was ready. His patience and precision were his greatest weapons. The explorers finally settled in a small clearing, taking a brief moment to rest. They did not speak much. Their minds were still trying to grasp the invisible force that had protected them. Lyra whispered, "We have survived, but they will come back. The hunters are clever. They will not forget." Rylan's jaw tightened. "Then we will follow our protector's lead. We will survive together. We must trust the unseen hand guiding us." Above, the SEAL sniper adjusted his position, scanning the horizon. The night was dangerous, but he controlled it. He had survived countless battles, faced unknown threats, and mastered the chaos of the wild. One human, alone, could shape the outcome of the night and protect the explorers from impossible odds. The hunters would learn the hard way. A single human mind, disciplined and skilled, could turn the tide of any battle, and the explorers, still unaware of the full extent of their protector's abilities, would come to understand that humanity's ingenuity, courage, and precision were unmatched. As the first light of dawn began to touch the jungle canopy, the explorers prepared to move again. The energy signal pulsed steadily, drawing them deeper into the unknown. They had survived the night thanks to an invisible protector, but the journey was far from over. The SEAL sniper remained in the shadows, silent and watchful. His mission continued: guide, protect, and outthink the hunters, ensuring the explorers' survival. The night had struck back, but humanity's edge had struck harder, and somewhere in the jungle the hunters realized that they were no longer the hunters. They were the hunted. The jungle was alive with tension as the first light of dawn crept through the dense canopy. Mist curled around the roots and rocks, and the faint glow of alien plants reflected silver and green. The explorers moved carefully toward the rocky plateau, hearts still racing from the previous night's battles. Every step was cautious, every rustle a reminder that the hunters were still out there. Captain Rylan led the group, his senses alert. Lyra followed, her eyes wide and cautious. Tarek walked close behind, his expression tight with fear and awe. The energy signal that had brought them here pulsed steadily from the plateau, and the explorers felt the pull of its mysterious power. "They are clever," Lyra whispered. "The hunters will come again, and this time they will be stronger." Rylan nodded. "Then we need to be ready, and we are not alone." High above, in the treetops, the lone SEAL sniper adjusted his position silently. He had watched the jungle for nights, studied the hunters, and prepared for this moment. His training, patience, and precision had kept the explorers alive so far, but he knew the final challenge was approaching. The hunters' leader, bigger and more cunning than any before, had returned with reinforcements. This would be the ultimate test. Below, the hunters emerged from the shadows, their glowing eyes fixed on the explorers. They moved with intelligence and speed, circling, coordinating, and planning to overwhelm their targets. Their leader, massive and terrifying, stepped forward, hissing a sharp command. Ryland felt the familiar tension tighten in his chest. "Stay together," he whispered. "Do not panic. Watch my lead." The SEAL sniper observed every move, calculating distances, angles, and timing. The hunters were strong, fast, and dangerous, but they underestimated the one human controlling the battlefield from above. Patience, strategy, and precision were his weapons. The first attack came swiftly. One of the hunters leapt toward Lyra. She barely dodged, stumbling backward, heart pounding. Another lunged at Tarek, aiming to separate the explorers. The sniper acted silently. Faint clicks and flashes. Each predator fell before it could strike, silently removed from the battlefield. The group could only stare in awe, unable to see their invisible guardian. "This is impossible," Lyra whispered. "No one could fight like this alone." Ryland's jaw tightened. "It is not impossible. It is human." The hunters, sensing resistance, adapted quickly. They attacked in waves, using coordination and speed to try to outmaneuver the unseen force protecting the explorers. But the sniper anticipated every move. He manipulated the environment. Loose rocks tumbled at the right moment, branches snapped, and shadows concealed his position. Every attack by the hunters was countered before it could succeed. The explorers pressed on, moving closer to the rocky plateau. The energy signal pulsed stronger, almost alive, guiding them toward the mysterious alien device. Every step was tense, but the group felt a strange confidence. They were alive because of someone they could not see, someone who had turned the night itself into an ally. Suddenly, the hunter leader lunged forward, massive claws extended. Its glowing eyes fixed on Ryland, calculating, determined. The explorers froze, unsure of what to do. This was the strongest predator they had faced, the one that had led all previous attacks. Above, the SEAL sniper focused. This would be the final move. He calculated the distance, the angle, and the timing perfectly. One wrong shot could expose him. One mistake could cost the explorers their lives. He exhaled slowly, held his breath, and acted. A faint flash, a soft click, and the predator froze mid-leap, falling silently to the ground. The remaining hunters hesitated, unsure, confused by the invisible force controlling the battlefield. Their leader was gone, and their confidence shattered. Ryland turned to Lyra, eyes wide. "Do you see who is doing this?" She shook her head. "No. It is like the night itself is protecting us." The sniper moved again, unseen, eliminating the remaining hunters with careful precision. Each attack was calculated, silent, and perfect. The explorers could only watch, amazed, as threats were removed without any visible intervention. Finally, the jungle fell silent. The hunters had retreated, defeated and terrified, leaving the explorers standing among the rocks, exhausted but alive. Their hearts pounded, their breaths came in ragged gasps. Tarek whispered, "We should be dead, but we are alive. Something is protecting us." Ryland's eyes scanned the treetops. He did not see the sniper, but he knew the presence was there. One human, one mind. Discipline, skill, and courage. That is what keeps us alive. The energy signal pulsed from the plateau, brighter now. Ryland approached it cautiously, brushing his hands over the alien carvings. The symbols glowed faintly, responding to their presence. The explorers felt awe and fear simultaneously. The device was powerful, mysterious, and possibly dangerous. Lyra examined the carvings. "It is advanced technology, but alive somehow. It reacts to us. And the hunters. They guard it, but they failed." Ryland nodded. "We have survived because of one human. Imagine what humanity can do when we face challenges like this, alone or together. The mind, the courage, the skill, nothing else compares." The SEAL sniper watched silently from above, ensuring no other predators approached. He had guided, protected, and controlled the battlefield. Recognition was not important. Survival and mission success were. His eyes scanned the horizon, alert to any new threat. He had proven what a single human could do against impossible odds. The explorers finally realized the truth. They had been saved by one human mind, disciplined, patient, and skilled beyond imagination. Humanity's edge was clear: the ability to think, plan, and act with precision even in the most dangerous conditions. As the first sun of this alien day touched the rocky plateau, the explorers prepared to move again. The jungle had been conquered for now, but the mission was far from complete. They had survived the night, and now they were ready for whatever lay ahead. The SEAL sniper remained hidden in the trees, silent, alert, and ready. He had mastered the chaos of the night, controlled the battlefield, and demonstrated humanity's unmatched skill. The hunters had been defeated, and the explorers had been saved. Rylan turned to Lyra and Tarek. "We are alive because of a human mind. One person alone can change the outcome of the impossible. That is our strength." Lyra nodded slowly. "We have witnessed it. I do not know how, but it is clear humans are remarkable." Tarek exhaled, still in awe. "I will never forget this. One human saved all of us." The jungle seemed calm now, the threats retreating into the shadows. But the explorers knew that danger could return at any moment. What mattered was that they had survived, and survived because of the skill, courage, and intelligence of a single human protector. The SEAL sniper adjusted his position one last time, scanning the horizon. He had ensured the survival of the group, turned impossible odds into victory, and demonstrated humanity's unique edge, a combination of mind, skill, and courage that no predator could match. The explorers began their journey again, hearts lighter but minds alert. They had seen what one human could do, and the knowledge filled them with awe and respect. Humanity, even in isolation, could overcome unimaginable dangers. The hunters would never forget the night. They had been outmatched by a single human mind, disciplined and patient, turning the battlefield into a tool, the night into an ally. Humanity's edge had been revealed, and in the shadows the SEAL sniper remained ready for whatever came next. Silent, precise, and unmatched. A human controlling the night, a protector unseen. A force that no predator could defeat. The jungle was quiet now, but alive, waiting for the next challenge. And humanity had already proven its ultimate strength. Courage, intelligence, and precision even against impossible odds. The explorers, still unaware of the full scope of their protector's abilities, moved forward, ready for the next stage of their mission. The lessons of the night were clear. Never underestimate humans and never doubt what one disciplined mind can achieve. The night had struck back, but humanity had struck harder. The SEAL sniper remained silent and watchful, the ultimate edge of survival and skill in a world that seemed impossible to conquer. The jungle would remember this night, the hunters would remember this defeat, and the explorers would remember the human who controlled the shadows and saved them all. The dawn had come, and with it the truth. Humanity's edge was real, and it was unstoppable.